Welcome to Different by Default, episode 4.
Episode 4.
I'm not in the clapping mood, guys.
Welcome back. My name is Rev.
Don't tap me. How you doing, guys? My name is K, King K. Y'all could call me whatever.
Najumba, a.k.a. June.
Tan. Herb.
And we got a special guest today. We got Judy Mae.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I just feel like a little more energy, a little
Oh,
more.
thank
I see you
thank
smile. You just look all right.
Thank you for the invitation, get this discussion going.
Your first female guest of the season, bro.
I'm honored.
It's about time. It's about time.
You want to give a little background about yourself, G?
Background about myself? Let's see. I am 22. I'm a senior in college. I graduate in the spring. Praise Jesus.
Wow.
Get out of there. Get out of there.
Yeah, what? College is a scam, but we still go. What else? Christian, Haitian, oldest of 3. I don't know. If any more things come up, I'll just blurt it out.
What did you major in?
Oh, I'm a biology major with a concentration in cellular and molecular biology and a chem minor.
You got it.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Just labeled out exactly what I want to be, yo.
For real?
Yeah,
That
actually,
is.
yeah. My major is I want to be biology, and I actually want my minor to be chemistry.
Oh, word? That's easy because the chemistry, you just have to take one extra class. And you get a chem minor. The school try to finesse stuff. You just
Knowledge. She spit knowledge.
Yeah.
You got a buddy right there to talk to. All right?
All right, so our topic today is going to be the times that we live in. So I just want to throw out the first start out question. It's like, have you experienced racism as a black person? So who wants to answer the question first?
You want the guest to answer first?
Oh, okay. So racism, it's kind of weird because you're kind of passive to it now because you're used to subliminals and implicit bias and all that. So an explicit experience of racism I had, I guess, was a couple of weeks ago. I was on a panel for Black maternal mortality because I'm working on a thesis on it. So, Black women are 5 times more likely to die after giving birth to a white woman. So I was on a panel for that, and I was talking on the panel, and out of nowhere, I was on a Zoom. So someone Zoom bombed, and they put a picture up of George Floyd, and they played a song that says, "I'm a Alabama N, and I want to be free." So it was like a song that was playing on loop. So we just got Zoom bombed, and I guess that was more of a direct experience of racism because I was talking, and then boom, we got Zoom bombed. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, honestly, because people are just more bold with it. But now you just got to be more aware of it, more cognizant of it and stuff, and be able to be ready to call people out on it.
For me, kind of growing up, I think racism was always there. It's just you don't really notice it until it's been showcased to you. So for me, I think I had an incident with dealing with the police. That would probably be my racism.
Explain it real quick.
Yeah.
Give us a brief story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Story time.
Did you get beat up?
nah, I really just got pulled over just for profiling, really, because I was around the area and hey, it was hey, you fit the description, so must be you. So
We gonna talk about
it was-
And you knew?
description.
yeah,
For real?
Damn.
Oh.
but yeah, light and brief. Okay,
He's black, a little blocky. He fit every description. No, my fault, brother.
wearing a hoodie and everything.
I guess I experienced a lot of instances of racism, and I'm kind of a no disrespect type person, so I kind of call it out. But when I was little, I used to be really into my Spanish class, so I used to talk to my teacher and try to figure out as much of Spanish that I could find out. I'm dumb now. I don't remember none of it, but at that time, I used to actually hold conversations with people in Spanish. And then at the supermarket and stuff, my mom is an aggressive mother. She used to be talking, her little talk, and every now and then they'll try to say little slick remarks in Spanish. So I'll just be sitting there you know what they said to you, Mom? Yeah, they said this and that. Blah, 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 let's go get them. Oh, this and that. And I used to just be walking around, and you could hear all the little slick stuff that people would say to you in another language. And I used to call them out on it. I used to directly just I could understand you, right? So if I was to say the exact same thing to you, you'd be upset and you'd be on the ground laid out right now, though, right? But it's just people, ignorance. They don't got nothing better to say. All they can really do is just throw ignorant slurs at you.
June?
Well, at work, the way they kind of act around you, the stuff that you hear behind your own back. They'll try to like look at you, try to talk to you like, hey, you know, we're cool and everything. But hey, I don't want to say everybody that I worked with, but I definitely did experience some like times where I'm like, yeah, it pretty much racist. I'm not even going to talk to you anymore. I'm not even going to entertain you. There's no point in me losing my job for some bullshit.
I don't really know, to be honest.
All right. So I had 2 instances I can remember. There was once where it was like a fellow Haitian man, because there used to be this girl I talked to, and then her father didn't know I was Haitian or whatever. So he just sat in the back and he called me all these kind of wild names. I'm just like, all right. Like, are you going to tell him or am I going to tell him? Because and then he's just like, called me vagabond, all this, like, all this wild stuff. Like, you know, typical Haitian stuff when they see someone
Can
who's
you give
like,
a translation for non-Haitians?
Yeah,
bro, I don't even remember what he was saying. I just know that one was like
He disrespected
vagabond.
your life.
Yeah, like, I just know that I felt.
Wait, what do you mean?
No, he just disrespected his life.
Yeah, I just know that.
Vagabond means a criminal, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, it means like a vagabond.
Yeah, that's a
He
criminal.
It's a criminal.
He was like vagabond. It was a bunch of stuff, bro. It was words I ain't never heard before. And I was like, yeah. So are you gonna tell him, or do I gotta say I'm Haitian too? Like,
Did you tell him you Haitian?
Yeah, it'd be the worst when it's like your own kind disrespecting you,
yeah,
not
but
knowing that it's
once
you.
he found out who my uncle was, he was like, "Oh, my bad. I ain't mean to do that." He was like,
Oh, that was of all attentions.
like,
too late.
He's
Go
like,
buy
"Oh,
me
you
some food now.
And then another one was like, I got pulled over by the cops just because I fit the description. Like, they was like, oh. So there's this guy in 2 cities over from me. I've never been in that city before in my life. And they talk about, so yeah, you fit the description because you got the same black hoodie on. You got a gray hoodie on and you got the same black jacket on. I was like, don't nobody else got this jacket but me, but okay. And then, so I was just there for like 2 hours waiting for them to, like, match up descriptions and all of that. And it was raining all that, bro. I was just upset. I didn't even go to work that day. I was like, you know, I'm staying home. So, yeah, man.
Can't let them affect that check.
Wait, my fault. Can you tell us the reason why they? I remember it was
Bruh.
something that had me.
Yeah, I remember it was
crying,
something.
bruh.
Yo,
It had me.
so they stopped, the guy stopped me because he swore that I was, okay, so the guy,
The criminal they were looking for?
the criminal they was looking for, the night before, he was out on Bellevue exposing himself to the man's daughter.
I remember. Yeah.
So, and then they told me the time, and then I was like, around that time, I was definitely asleep, and I woke up around like 8 o'clock. So that's not me. And then they was like, oh no, but he said you fit the description. Why do I fit the description? He's like, oh, because he said it was a young black man. I was like, oh, okay. I'm just here. Like, you ain't got to say no more. You ain't got to say no more. I'm just chilling here. Can I get my phone call? Like, but nah, yeah, that day was annoying.
Tragic. What's the next question?
All right, so what channels currently exist to like understand? Hold on. All right, so what channels currently exist? Like,
Bad hosting.
that's not bad hosting.
I'm
That I
playing,
can't
I'm
see
playing.
the little crack
You
is over the
blind.
thing.
You got a problem with my phone, brother?
John, let's see your phone.
Wow. You know what? Stop the episode, brother. We got
Dun, 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 dun. Oh no.
He said, okay, all right.
Man, give me my phone, man.
So what channels currently exist to understand what is and what isn't helping the black community?
I think it's really like outreaching. Like I feel like community gatherings, doing things like that, that always helps try to know what's going on in the community. But at times it can be heard, and at times it can go in through one ear and go out the other. That's how I feel.
I'm pretty sure Puff Daddy was making the channel. Like that's what you was asking, right? Oh yeah, Puff Daddy was like like what is that? Black Nation something. I'm sorry. Revolt. Yo, yeah, he was making a channel for black people, owned by black people, for black people. I don't know how it's doing right now. I don't know if it's actually for black people. But sorry, Puff. No, I got a Biggie shirt on. You know, I know you got respect for him too. But nah, that's the only really channel I could think of. There's really not a lot of outlets out there for us. And if it is being showcased on the show, it's created half the time is made by white people. Do they really actually know what the black people community really go through? No. You don't add your 2 cents, brother.
What's it called? Here and there, like I'll listen to Doctor what's his name? Damn.
You better not say Dr.
Dr. Who?
Umar.
Dr. Umar.
Who's that?
Dr. Seuss?
Why don't you listen to some
No.
Farrakhan?
Yeah, Dr. Umar. What's it called? Who else? To be honest, that's all I see on my For You page. What's it called? Little Nick Cannon. What's it called?
They can't not married.
Yeah. And
They call those dirty. I ain't gonna hold you.
He gave
and,
all
like,
those people.
that's all I can
careers.
remember right now. June.
Me personally, so news is the basic, CNN. And then even though I don't really dig deep into it, it's because as soon as I go to work, that's the main thing that we talk about. Like whatever that topic is, we all talk about it, and then we just from multiple George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, when everybody's raiding like stores, like anything from the time I can't even think of names right now. I think it was Alabama, right? Where he got shot. I can't even think of it right now.
George
if I look
Floyd?
It
George
up.
Floyd.
No, not just George Floyd.
Oh.
Killing it. Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery was.
Boom. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as soon as the thing happens, everybody really talks about it, and then like there'll be times where like everybody just stop work, like every black person just stop work, and we will literally talk about it for like an hour because it's like this is actually happening right now, and it's not that much that you can do about it, but just be aware of what's going on.
Honestly, Twitter is my news feed. Twitter is I feel like Twitter is the best source because people are so blunt and direct. So when you read
Something
people,
about Twitter.
They
There's
don't
something about
restrict
Twitter.
things.
They don't restrict anything. And Black Twitter is like the best part of Twitter because everyone's having fun on that side. But when it comes to like Black issues, you see the discussions and the dialogue, and you're just like you're reading other people's opinions and actions, and you're trying to see other people's perspective. And like sometimes you're like, "Yup, no, you're dumb." But other times you're like, "Okay, I see where you're coming from. I can see you, like your point of view." And like it's cool. You just gotta follow the right people. And yeah, I like Twitter.
Well, I'm definitely gonna look forward to some Black Twitter. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have an account.
Nah, but Black. Everyone's like, "How do you find Black Twitter?" Nah, Black Twitter finds you.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's what it
That's
seems
really,
like.
that's really how it is. Like you'll see once all your feeds just Black people.
If you're Black enough, you'll get there.
You'll
Find your way.
You'll find your way.
Do you feel like the Black community has always done its job in like uplifting everybody?
That is their job.
But
What?
do you feel like they do it? Because I feel like sometimes you could like there are times where you'll feel like Black community is behind you and it's not.
I feel like that's every community though. So it's like yeah, and then no, because like, at the end of the day, we probably there's stuff that people think like, oh, this will work, but it won't, or it didn't go well, and there are times where like we probably work on something that actually does do well. So
I feel like sometimes you get genuine support from the Black
but yeah,
community. and then
mainly
sometimes-
genuine, especially now the way everybody's just like how everybody's perspective is now. I guess like not our generation, but like older generations, they were more confident in themselves because how they got bashed on or like.
But they paved the way from what
They definitely did, and look how we rock it. I'm proud that I'm Black. I'm not.
I'm proud.
The only thing is that cancel culture is real.
Yeah.
Like,
That's another thing. Cancel culture.
once Black people don't like you, it's over.
So we gonna move on.
Hope we don't get canceled. All right.
You're
Yeah.
still young. Does not do that.
Up and comers.
Covers. So the next question, it's is diversity, equality, and inclusion a core value, like of America?
No. When has it ever been?
It depends on what perspective you looked at it from. From a Black person, no, definitely not.
Oh yeah, that's the perspective I'm looking
yeah.
at it from.
It's the only way I can look at it right now.
Exactly.
Ask the question. It was just the second part of your general question.
So
basically, with the Black community, has it helped?
yeah, so from the Black community, no. I mean, basically in America, it's you're white or you don't get it good. in my
I feel
opinion.
like they're trying now, but it's more of a hindsight. Like they feel like they try to include you when they need you. That's how I feel. A lot of the times they try to include you when they need you or when they feel like they'll benefit from including the Black race.
Yeah.
Yep. But the benefit of America is that, as we keep on working with each other, We eventually get there.
Yeah, exactly.
But my only problem is I feel like America, politically correctly, is for diversity, but they don't do it because like, oh, they care. They do it not to get in trouble or out of fear of being called out as being racist or like, you know what I mean?
Because
Like,
you
it's
know
not
that
like
cancel
they're
culture
generally-
waiting.
Yeah. So like, it's not like they generally. Some people generally do care for diversity, but others, it's like you know, when you get your papers right, you just try to get your paper, get all the
more like
checkbox
a
marked
necessity.
off. It's a necessity type of thing. But like you see, like schools, they have like the diversity board or whatever. Does the diversity board ever do anything? No, but they're there because they have to make sure they have someone for that role.
We just need the image. That's all they care about. They just need the image.
I feel like once you get more black people in places of power, there will be a lot more changes, though.
Yeah.
But, you know, we also, as a people, got to start working towards that more as well, because some of us just be out here doing whatever. We do not be caring. Other of us really be striving, though. I will not lie. You be seeing some of these little young kids, like, what was that? Nah, he wasn't black. Never mind.
You could have lied it all.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man. I wasn't going to lie.
I know a brother, though. You know what I'm saying? I can't say exactly what he did. I know, nah.
I'm actually glad you ain't do that because some people like to fact check on this thing, bro. Like,
Yeah, bro.
they
I
really
wasn't about to
fact
say
check
it, and then
themselves.
it turns out he not even black. You're like, I had to think about it.
As long as you don't say his name is good, you know what I'm
Word.
saying?
But a little bit to piggy off what Judy said, for me is like I pay a lot of attention to sports. So for the inclusion thing, the NFL try to make like having more black coaches, have more general things. They tried, but it was successful. If you actually look at it, not really, because you still like the majority. I don't think there's not one black NFL owner, and it's,
No.
I think there's like one Asian woman. She owns the Bills, but other than that, yeah, there's like no black owner. General managers, it's like I think there's like 4 or less.
But it's kind of harder to get black owners when most of the people that own them damn teams have been owning them for decades.
Yeah. But if you look at the players,
The NBA got a few of them though.
Yeah, now
I feel like NBA is kind of like
is way
I feel
more
like
progressive.
they've been
Yeah.
for a while
definitely,
now. They've been more
definitely.
progressive.
The NFL is still in that little.
NFL don't really want to get involved with all the racial
Yeah.
stuff. They just want to. This is the NFL. This is what we do. If you don't like it, that's not you.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they feel. You gonna follow our rules, or you can get out.
Yeah.
And they'll kick you out.
Like, yeah, literally, they'll kick you out. Yeah.
Kaepernick. Next question.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's why I've been calling.
No,
All right.
that's what.
So we all know about the George Floyd case.
Mhm.
So how does it
know about the Biggie Smalls case?
But what's your opinion on the George Floyd case?
Probably about the opinion of every other black person.
Which is
Why do we let the police officer get so much power? They're basically allowed to do whatever they want when it comes to arresting our people. Like, literally, you could half the time you could walk into buildings without warrants. You could go arrest somebody for no probable cause when you're supposed to have probable cause to arrest them. All you got to say is, yeah, you fit the description. There was a black man in this area, and you look like that black man. Even though you don't even have to have the same hairstyle. It could be a black man with dreads. You got no hair. Oh, you fit the description. How? Like, you just
Not
give
me.
they're too lenient on the police force. They allow them to basically whip their power any which way, and 9 times out of 10 it happens to they're overexpressing their power on either black people or other minority races. Like, literally, you just saw that mass shooter get basically shown hella respect, and he just killed like 10 people.
It was 8 or 10.
It was like 8 or 10 people he killed, and you see them walking them in handcuffs. But if a black person would have killed that many people, he would have immediately been dead.
Yeah.
Tan, since you haven't really been talking this episode.
It's just crazy how the police system works. To be honest, like when the police brutality is like they do this and that. What's it called? And they say they will do something about it, but literally, if your police force is doing this to black people, and what's it called, they getting away with it. No, well, if you arrest a cop for for killing a black person, now everybody gonna think like, why do we have this police force here? So basically, they're just gonna let them get away with it, or they're just gonna make it an excuse for
My
it.
fault, but they have been arrested. Some of them cops, they just
So,
didn't
yeah,
get
some
no-
of them.
All they've been doing is either been relieved of their duty and they're allowed to work in another police station, or they're getting fines and that's it. They have to pay a settlement or something like that. Or some of them just get off scot-free. Oh, we find that they're such and such didn't had probable cause to do this to this perp, even though half of the time they didn't, and they get off with no consequences.
Joe, you got anything to add?
Well, everybody's seen the video of George Floyd. The way that whole procedure was taken care of, definitely wrong. 4 people, kind of on your body. Somebody's pressing on your neck. Why? Of course, there's no action. Of course, it's because I don't even know what was the thought process of them actually following it that way. But just to look at it, and not only that, just to see how it took so long just for them to get actual time. It should be right off the jump, murder. Now, I'm not sure what degree would you put it at. They probably put 3rd degree murder, probably like that. They should lose their pensions right off the jump. I don't really know the full procedure of how that works, but it should be immediately done. It shouldn't be a trial and everything, because it's it's not even it's a story my fault. Let me say, I'm trying to say right. It wasn't it was a story where we just heard about it and then there's no footage. It's 4K. It's literally everybody sees it, and it still took so long just to have a little bit of justice. And it's not only George Floyd that experienced,
So
injustice.
For me, I think everybody growing up, when you see the police, it was really fear and respect, because it's hey, you were scared of them and you didn't want to get caught by them. With the whole thing, it's kind of what I've come to realize is the behind the scenes, the reasons why these police officers aren't really done anything is because I've come to learn police unions are so big. There was this an officer shot someone, and then the whole department, I think majority of it quit because they wanted to put him to trial.
That was Buffalo.
Yeah.
I would have let them all quit.
Yeah.
We don't need y'all.
So it's just by one person doing that, and then you have a whole department doing that. If you actually look at it, if as a police officer, if you kill someone, you should be held accountable. If it isn't the right thing, in hey, this person wasn't doing anything and you shot them. But if there's other cases, so if he shot that person, he took someone's life, he should be held accountable for it. It shouldn't be, hey, he was a police officer, he did that, no. And then I hate how the media also portrays the black person. Most of the time, it'll be, they'll try to make it seem as in this black person did all this. They'll go so much back evidences hey, he did this as a minor, this, that, and third. But in that moment, that wasn't him.
I can't remember. It was one case that I heard about. I can't remember exactly what case it was, but they literally tried to make the person that they killed look out like he was some type of fiend, and the family had to come out and say, "What? That is not our son at all."
Did you forget? Because even just George Floyd, they just start bringing up
his
past or what?
Yeah.
But it doesn't justify killing a person. Though.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
Okay, and he was an entertainer.
The crazy part is
a security guard.
It's if a cop can kill a person and feel no sympathy for it, imagine your arrested police for doing the same thing, and you just have cold blood killers killing people.
They always say that. You hear people say this all the time anyway, that the police is the biggest gang out there. That's all they are. They literally have gangs inside of police forces where, you listen to the gang or we blackball you. Or you can't do this, you can't do that. We're gonna kick you out of the police force. Or if you want to go against this, some police officers literally take joy in hurting those less and those that can't defend themselves. And if you're part of their gang and you try to snitch on them, it's over for you. It's also some of their brutality is also fear. You get a lot less of them doing it if they wasn't so scared of the rest of them. But that ain't an excuse at all either.
I think my main thing with the George Floyd case was the reaction and the responses to other people's hurt and anger. When you see the protests, they have rights to protest. You have the Bill of Rights saying you have the right to congregate and protest and all this. But how you see people upset and hurt, and you respond with military tanks, and respond with tear gas, and you respond with curfews, and then you respond with that, and then you get upset with what's it called? When they over here go into Target and crazy. What's it called? I forgot the word. When they go inside and like rob Target.
Looting?
Looting. Thank you. You guys still looting. You more upset about technology than a man's life being. I think that's the main problem. Like you're getting wrong about the wrong thing. You're getting mad that black people are mad. You're getting mad that black people do something. Like, why can't black people react to what you've done to us? Why can't we be upset? Why can't we show you our anger? Why do you have to respond that way? And you have white people be able to congregate at Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Where's the gas tanks? Where's the tear gas?
They got into Capitol
And they
Hill.
got guns. And the white people got guns.
You know another thing that made me upset about all that when the rioting and looting was happening, that it actually, and like this is why sometimes social media is undefeated, because they do show
They
you
show
what
you
really
the real
They got the
thing.
there was
receipts for real.
so many white people that was actually doing the looting and robbing themselves, and they just said it was all black people doing it. But you could see for yourself that there was so many white people just dressed up in black, breaking these stores and starting to riot, starting telling people to go in there. We're going to break in the windows, breaking the doors down, driving into the stores and stuff.
Yeah, at one point there was like they're undercover cops. I've heard about.
Yeah.
It's just trying to get us
Someone
started.
set a Wendy's on fire in Atlanta.
And they found out it was a white
Oh,
person.
a white woman. I'm like,
I remember.
they said, "Oh, Black Lives Matter." No, it was not.
You remember that kid who like had the AK-47? He just walked
He
past
killed
like
people?
Yeah, he walked past 2 guards.
Oh,
yeah, and then he just went spraying people.
And the cops went smooth past
And
them.
They was
Still
treating him with
alive.
respect.
He's still alive.
Mind you, if that was a black kid, if that was me, if that was Tam, that was you.
Yeah, but
They, by the time he got out the car,
If he was in
him.
any state with like just regular like citizens that have like open arms and everything, we would be gone already.
That's why
But
I'm not
nah.
going to Florida.
I've literally had a cop tell me if I moved, I would have been gone. Like he really said, like, oh, I was like, what? And I was like, if I moved, what? First off, I gotta move to even like turn around to face you. He was like, nah, like I don't know what this and that, blah blah blah. Oh, you would have moved. I don't know what you're about to do. You could have been running. You could have been. You're telling me to move closer to the car. How does that make sense? Like, but you would have shot me just because I had to turn around to even go into the car. I mean, I ain't no criminal though. But I've had it happen
like,
to me.
It's crazy though. We had police brutality in our own town too. Like, it's just, and like some people think like it won't happen to us. It won't happen to us, and eventually it will.
No, that's why I don't mess with West Orange cops.
What? Summit chased me out like 2 weeks ago. Literally, worst thing ever.
I had actual like officers come to my house, and I don't want to go deep all the way through it.
You
They
told us
did
this.
not. Yeah. I
told
think
us this
I think I
story.
told you. Yeah, they didn't follow regular procedures. Walk into the house,
With no
talking about you have a warrant for arrest, but you can't identify who you're looking for.
you can't even show the warrant.
Like that's the
Yeah,
worst
like-
part when you tell a cop they're wrong and you still get violated for
And
it,
then
bro.
you try to say that you have a warrant for arrest for a minor, but you can't even state the name to their own mother.
Nah, they was trying to get y'all. They was doing too much. I would have sued.
I'll explain it later for you if you
Oh
want
my
to hear it.
god.
Yeah, nah, and it's not only one time that happened. Like, there's been times like they came to my house like multiple times. And it's just like, bro, you're just able to,
insane. Oh
and
my
you're
gosh.
just there, and that's what you got to deal with. It's not that much that you can do.
I hate
What you gonna do?
that.
Raise your hand up?
Literally, I hate that. I hate how police are supposed to protect you, and they instead of protection, you have a fear when you see them. Like I don't feel like if you see police, you should feel fear. You should feel protection. You should feel safe when you see police. So like, if you feel fear, then there's a problem with the institution of police. Like obviously, we don't need y'all. That's why we have gangs to begin with. Gangs only came because police were doing us wrong, and now everyone say gangs are bad. Nah, you're the cause of gangs. Like.
They made the gangs bad.
Yeah.
They put all these little
And
drugs
then
and
you
stuff
put the
into
drugs
the
in it. Like you
communities.
messed it up. Like you messed up the integrity of gangs too.
They went from, we're going to fight back against the power to, we're going to make our own little power and we're going to fight our own people over the scraps that they giving us.
At the end of the day, majority of the police force, if you hear me, you ain't shit. That's how I feel.
Period.
So what's one thing you would change about this injustice?
I mean, simple. First of all, please stop racially profiling me off the jump. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a citizen. Like, I have to pay my taxes.
I'll pay your bill.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I work. I go home. I don't have a criminal record.
I say
Leave me alone.
Reforming their police handbook, the little procedures that they have to take when they're dealing with suspects. Make them take actual what is that? Psychological studies.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
I like
to
that.
deal with actual people with mental issues because they don't know how to deal with them people.
I feel like they should be mentally controlled.
There was a
Like, I don't
story.
say- I say
Like,
mentally controlled.
please don't take this the wrong way when I tell you this. But
I'm
I'm
scared.
I'm on TikTok, right? And so this guy was doing something, right? And he felt that he was being spied on by a black person, so he killed the person. And what was it called? The judge let him go scot free because they gave him because it was a mental illness. Like,
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about, but that does happen. The case of like, it's because of like something that like
it's
outrageous
insanity.
as that happened. It's just there's something mentally wrong with him. I'm just gonna take him to psychiatric area, and after
And half
the
the time there
rehab.
is a psych problem, so like you can't even do anything.
No, I'm not. But the thing is, they're actual like. I mean, that's
I
where
ain't gonna-
loophole comes
yeah,
because like
they use it
some
as a
people would
loophole.
strategically be like, "Yo, that's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my plan. I'm just gonna play it out like I'm psyched." That's the same. That's the
Like
same
that
way
dude
how
that
people do. People
raped
do
and
that to
killed
get
that
matched.
8-year-old girl. The dude that raped that 8-year-old girl and beat her skull in. That he got off. He's getting
I
off.
think I- yeah, I know you're
Every
talking
time he
about-
goes
I
to
think I know you're
trial,
talking
he
about.
gets off scot free because he keeps saying that he has a mental issue.
I think I know. Yeah.
And it's like I feel it's a loophole, but I feel like for certain cases you can't use that loophole. Like with that, it ain't. I don't care how damaged you are in your head.
What I don't understand is like you're trying to. Yeah, all right.
Like-
if he can't be scot free,
yeah, like
gonna,
isn't there like asylums for that?
he should. That should be his thing. Like, you don't put him in regular jail. All right, I understand that. Put him in a psychiatric place. Because at the end of the day, what you gonna do? Let him free with that type of mindset?
Exactly.
If he was able to do that, and be like, "Oh, there's something wrong with me," like he's be able to do it again and just be like, "There's something wrong with me."
First off, if he's able to go to court every damn time, ain't nothing wrong with him. And able to state his case, ain't nothing wrong with him.
I think.
There you got it.
Oh, okay. I think that the police needs more. I feel like it should be harder to become police. I feel like that's one thing.
They only go through like 6 months of
You
training.
go through 6 months
Yeah.
of police academy. Mind you, to be like a doctor, to be a lawyer, you gotta go through undergrad and you gotta go to grad school, and that's like, and you got extra training after that. So like to be a doctor, you need like 12 years of training. To be a lawyer, 8 years.
I think the 6 months
Police
is only
academy,
in
6 months.
I think it's only in America because I think we go to other countries it's way longer.
That's
you want to
insane.
look that up? Get a little information going on.
Because
Get
you
educated.
have-
I'll get my-
And it's crazy because I know some people from high school that are police now. They should not be police because they dumb. They not smart.
Oh, you throwing shots?
There's some people that can't go to college, so they go to police academy instead, and that's bad. You have people that can't think properly holding guns.
Yeah.
You have people that don't know the law holding guns.
See, look,
and
that's why I
being
can't be a
protected
police
by-
officer.
I got another thing to say.
You know what I always say, right? Guns don't kill. Stupid guns
Yeah, they
kill.
do. Yes, they do.
Stupid mother with guns kill.
One thing I also want to say, there should be a surveillance on the officer at all times when
They
he's
should
going
be
through
able
the
to cut their
procedure.
cameras
And they
off.
turn-
Yo,
off,
they
you get
talking about they
fined.
got the cams on. You're a liar.
You're a liar.
You're a
How you tell
liar.
me there's no footage? You're supposed to have footage.
There's no way in hell you could be grabbing me like that. You had surveillance on.
But like just like you just said, like lawyers go to like 8 years, but you're able to be a police officer in 6 months. Like, so it took them 8 years to learn the law, and you were that smart that you learned it in 6 months.
Like, they should be like honestly, even like another thing like mental checkups, because like at the end of the day, these people are humans, and emotion can really change how you are at work. So with like a job like that, say you had a pissed off day, and now you got to deal with somebody with a gun trying to shoot you.
Yeah.
You automatically looking at it like
And I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
a regular procedure. You know what I'm saying? Of you just trying to shoot somebody. Now, what if it's like you're dealing with like something like a repulsive person that's like you over here trying to talk to them, and then they're retaliating, and even though it's not by like physical force, they just using words, and they just get ticked off, and then you just start to be like a dick, and then you start to go through the unnecessary procedure that most police officers do, and then that leads to retaliation, and then boom, we have ourselves another story. But
For me, I think the power that they hold should be way less. They shouldn't be responding to like cases of mental issues, in my opinion.
They should not.
You can have a whole separate thing, because why do you need to bring a gun to someone that's mentally
First
ill?
of all,
They
can we
actually-
please have a
some police
background
departments
history?
actually do have separate separate officers that's supposed to respond to that, like, or they'll have officers that actually have psychological training where they's like, oh yeah, is a mentally impaired person, can you go do this and respond to this call? It's just that it's not everywhere. That's the
Yeah.
only issue.
For the viewers that live around where we live, and you know that, obviously that ain't the case over here. You know what I'm saying?
Man, if you live in East Orange, we got the worst cops around here, yo. We got bad.
I feel like, and also police officers should actually go through like a reevaluation, like you're saying, like every month or something, because at times, you're just letting them freelance and do whatever they need to do, and you don't even have a control over them. And then when something happens, like, well, we didn't know, It's like, hey, if you had taken the time to just do the simple things, this wouldn't have happened.
You know what movie would kind of like really like is a good movie for people to watch if you want to see like a black person taking power into their own hands?
Oh
Is
man,
it that new movie?
It's a
With
movie with a police
Nate,
officer.
what's his name? Nate Parker?
I don't remember.
I need
his
to
name.
watch that.
But it's like it's a cop, right? He starts off as a good cop, doing basically everything that every other cop do. He treats some on purpose more aggressively. It's just like at one point though, he's just snapped seeing a white cop talk about. I think he was in the bar and he was talking about a Muslim and he was saying he was Muslim, but he was like, I'm Muslim. I can only eat pork. First off, Muslims can't eat pork at all. So he was just saying all this racist stuff, and it was just finally got to him. I think the first thing he did when he finally snapped was that have that cop reported to a crime where it was saying, oh, 2 black kids that stole a bike or something like this, and he was being aggressive with him about to shoot him. He came, beat the white cop up in his own police uniform, and then put him in handcuffs and threw him away and let the kids off scot-free. And then he started doing that throughout the rest of the movie. It was just like
I need to see that movie.
it's
what
a good
movie you was talking
It's
about?
on
I'm
Hulu
talking
too.
about that
I know a
movie
movie.
where
Judas and the Black Contract.
no,
No,
there was
no.
a movie where the police killed a boy, right? And the father
Yeah,
took
I know.
over the police station.
Yeah. I
And then
ain't
put-
watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
And they had like the jailers be the jurors or something. I don't know. The trailer was crazy.
Yeah, I seen
gotta
the
watch it. I
trailer,
know
and
what
I'm
you're
over here
talking
like,
about.
I'm gonna watch this and totally forgot about it. As usual.
Yeah.
Right, next question.
Oh, snap. All right. How are students thinking and feeling about equality and inclusion at school?
It depends on the school you go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some PWIs do have a good inclusion. Like I feel like Montclair State has a really good
You got black people.
yeah, Montclair State did a really good job. I have a cousin that goes there and she's like part of the Haitian Association. So like I love that. But there's some other schools that is just not good. It really depends on what you go with.
Yeah, my school sucks.
Like some schools down south, if you're a certain race, half the time you can't walk off campus.
I heard that. What's it called? I go to Fairleigh Dickinson. Yeah, I heard stories about.
It's
like,
probably not an actual rule. It's just like
just
it's
like
better
those
for you.
unwritten-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it'd be so much racism around the school. Like,
Yeah.
like you got to imagine you in the South. You know how many Southern people are going to be going to that college with you?
No, you're
And
not
they
just
are-
in the South. You in the South.
Yeah,
All right,
you in the South.
All right.
What's it called? My school, like, is white. My school is white. I go to Fairleigh Dickinson, and like I'm the only girl in my class that's a bio major, I think. But the thing about my school is that like cause I commute, right? You're passive to the school. Like you already know I'm not gonna be here that long. I don't care, so I'm just like take my classes and leave. What's it called? My first year, there was an African American Studies course offered. I took it because I wanted to be in a room full of black people. Boom. So I was like, okay, because I'm always with black people now, I'm a minor in African American Studies. After that one semester, they never offered another African American study course after that. So I'm
There
like,
wasn't enough people for had the class keep on running. Bullshit.
no, like literally, no. Actually, the professor that was in charge of the African American, I think she fired or she left or something like that. So because the person left, they never restarted like the minor or whatever. So then, when the thing about the George Floyd, all the schools, let's say, oh, we stand by, our students, diversity, this, that, and third. I said, that's some bull because y'all don't care about us. So I emailed them. I said, so you care about us, but like you're not even educating us about our own history. So I said, like, what's up with African American minor? Like, what's going on with education or not? They said, oh, we're going to put a board together and we're going to work on it. Okay. It's been, what month is this? It's March. It's
Yeah, it's March.
10 months. 10 months, something changed. When I was in the panel, I called out the school again saying that they haven't offered anything. and I got an email from what's it called? The school hired a new African American Studies minor instructor or whatever, and she emailed me saying, "Oh, she wants to work with me to put the minor together." But like, I'm about to graduate. My time here is over.
Yeah,
You wasted. That's a waste opportunity. So, I don't know. Nothing's done unless you don't call the school out. That's what I think, for sure.
That's at my school. It wasn't really nothing actually going deep into like black culture. So our teachers just kind of made their own kind of curriculum themselves. They add like, or they'll take if something was to happen and to say to a black person like it was a big thing, it was on the news and stuff. We'll take a day off of that class and we'll talk about it. We'll have our own little debates in class, and it's like it's a
That's
school.
actually nice.
Yeah, and just as a class, you just get to work off all the stress that you witnessing the situation. You get to work off all the hate that you have, and you just spit it all out in the discussion. And this happened plenty of times. Almost every time something big happened on the news. Oh yeah, let's talk about what happened today in current events. Blah blah this that.
That's the history I like to learn.
Yeah, and in history class, most definitely, the books don't tell you half the stuff. So they
First of all,
our teachers give it to them themselves.
they skip arcs, and then you think about middle school. All right, you learn about beginning. You start learning about
European
around medieval
history.
European history. You probably dab into some Asian history, and then you come to high school to talk about the same shit. I'm like, bro,
I learned this.
It really
Like
blows
one
my
thing,
mind.
one thing I really wanted to learn in my history class is like the stories about the Caribbean. Like when when the pirate revolution happened, that's when in the Caribbean that was a big moment for slaves. When the pirates revolution happened, they basically as the pirates started getting more powerful, they were in their little area of not. I'm actually remember this history. I'm actually watching a documentary on it right now, and it's putting me back up. But they was in they pirate nation of pirate city of Nassau, and these pirates would go take on slave ships because they use slaves as human currency. So they'll take them, free the slaves, and have them being parts of their crew and pay them actual money. And some of these pirate legends that they witness, they'll give these speeches where it's like they basically telling you, yeah, you're your own prince, and even though you went through a predicament here, you could still be your own prince in your own land here as well. And that for a lot of slaves, that was like the moment in their head where it's like, I don't have to be this dominated person. Like if history were to teach that, oh my gosh.
So much time, but they
I had,
scared.
so the only like African American history I really learned was my 9th grade year. Mind you, I've been skipping that class the whole time. History. It was first period. That's why. But I come in and then we're watching a movie about Black Panther, the black organization, and then they would just. It started off about how they was like they were rebelling and everything, and then basically they just used trails to kind of like crush it over everything. But it was just interesting how I'm able to actually see this, and as I look back to it, like 9th grade, 1 month, that's all I learned.
I was fortunate enough. Well, it didn't even happen until I seen my senior year that we had an African American class.
Too late.
Yeah, it was too late. I was yeah. I'll say too. But I was
Love
out.
that man.
And plus COVID hit anyway. So I only had it for like a half a year. So COVID hit, but it was still a good class, luckily. But that's all I gotta say on that.
Honestly, learning Black history is honestly
It's
so
fun.
cool. And I hate that it's only restricted to like a February. It's only like 28 days. Like
It's
Black
American
year-round.
history. It's American.
It's
history.
literally American history.
But in
Like,
history class, they try to feed you that Native American history.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
Word.
do.
Don't worry.
You know all the name of the
But
ships
guys,
and everything.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. When you go to college, you can pay to actually learn about your own history. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
If your school offers it.
UC
No, that's
offers it.
sarcasm.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm.
You could pay to learn about your
bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
You want to wrap it up with the final question?
yeah. All right, so
You having a little technical difficulties, brother?
nah, because we low-key covered this.
I'm about to say, the way we was talking, I know we
Yeah.
covered more than the option of the
Yeah.
question that we were supposed to.
Well, it's a good discussion.
It
Good.
is.
What's the question? What's the question?
Do you feel schools match the race of like teachers, the race of students?
No.
Not even the HBCUs. Oh, I'm lying. I don't go to HBCUs, so I can't say that.
Hopefully
I
on
don't
the
know.
HBCUs.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, God willing.
I regret not going to HBCU. I can't even lie. You know what the school is?
Oh yeah, I heard that. I'm an NCAT person though.
This is this isn't a real school.
That isn't a real school.
It's Hillman. You ever seen A Different World?
Listen, man.
I've
all
heard
I
of that.
know
I don't know
is,
where though.
No, y'all need to watch that show.
The sitcom, A Different World.
A Different World. That show is.
You talking about the dude with the glasses?
Yes.
Oh,
and then wait. If I'm correct, different. I definitely heard about
That's
that.
been off
I
his
heard
Cosby
about it. I
show.
don't know if I
Is it
watched it.
Sinbad on it?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
he
I
is.
know you're talking about.
watched
Wait,
it.
Mo-
I watched when I had antennas.
He's in it, and then.
As soon as you said Sinbad.
Yeah. Nah, A Different World made me want to go to HBCU. Because
I
that
remember
show,
now.
yeah, that show's amazing. It's a touch on real things and just black people doing
Didn't
great
have an
things.
officer
honestly.
with the weird name.
Officer?
I said the officer. We talking about officer so much. The teacher with the weird like name. It's hard to pronounce.
They had.
Don't tell me I'm talking about the wrong
I think that's
TV
wrong.
show.
Nah, I'm about to rewatch the show. I can't lie.
Okay.
I know. I know.
Watch it when you get home.
Nah, for real. It has some of the best scenes ever. But I can't even go to HBCU because I have visited Howard with my mom. My mom said, "No, it's too ghetto." I said,
What?
"What?"
Visit NCAT. I want to go to NCAT or Howard. Or Hampton.
Or Hampton?
Yeah.
Nah, don't go to Hampton.
What's wrong with
Don't go to Hampton.
Hampton? Dang. You gotta take Hampton off the
No,
list.
only 'cause I have a friend there. She has problems at the school.
What type of problem?
I got that shit.
Like, did y'all know that? What's it called? Is it the dean? Not the dean. The head, the president, whatever.
That guy.
The head guy, whatever. He signed a paper that said like all lives matter or something like that. And you like, this is a black school. We not gonna all lives matter this. And like just issues with like administration and stuff.
Yeah, right
If
off the
HB
bat. Nah.
If HBCUs had more fundings, definitely be
What?
so much quicker.
Honestly.
It'd be-
And just black people are just so cool. And you just learn so much from different
Let
people.
me end these 2 years at community and then I'll be there.
Where
So, let me see what's on. Damn. All right. So, we gonna wrap up the episode.
you got no more good ones?
You don't know no juicy questions, brother?
I
We
mean,
finally get to talk about ourselves.
got 5 minutes left. We can knock something out in 5 minutes, 4 minutes. So, it's the last question is basically like, how'd you feel about the Atlanta shooting?
Oh,
How do I feel about massacre?
yeah.
Was he fighting for his country?
To be honest, it's expected but unexpected because it's like when you heard about it, it's like, dang, how did that happen? And then you hear the full backstory, it's like, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. Because how it happened and everything, I'm like, but it was 3 different parlors of 8 people. That's what I questioned, right? Am I right? Was
I
it
don't
3
know
different
logistics
places? I think it was 3 places. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's just, that should have never happened in the first place.
One thing I will say is that when it comes to hate crimes to minority groups, if you're upset about Asian people being killed, you should be upset when black people are getting killed. If you're upset if black people are getting killed, you should be upset if Asian people are getting killed.
Don't just let it involve
Yeah.
your race or
Don't let
one
it be
race.
about you. Don't let it be keep the same energy. Regardless, people are getting killed for no reason. So
I ain't gonna lie, black people, that one is a little bit for us.
that's for us,
Who
yeah.
could be damn sure don't be keeping
There's
the
something
same
about
energy.
my
Yeah.
skin that's just telling me black people.
But keep the same energy.
All right, we're going to wrap it up on that.
Oh, it's Tan and
Oh, Tan.
Oh,
He not even paying
Nah,
Look, told you, Tan not paying attention over there, bro.
nah, I'm paying attention. I'm just like, I'm so engaged. I'm just listening to y'all.
If you was engaged, you would have been like,
You would have been on point, like, oh yeah, I got this and this to say.
Hold on, we got a little time left. I have one question for you. All right,
Lay it on me.
Lay it on you.
on me.
My question is, and I totally forgot. That's the worst part about it. Like it was just in my head. No, I'm trying to remember. That really sucks, bro. That's really
The
a question, bro. I really just
You
forgot.
want to know if he looked at you this episode?
Yeah, that's a good one. Did you? I didn't. I was too engaged, so probably not. I wasn't worried about it.
Like I saw him looking straight ahead. I don't know if he was staring at you this
I'm
time.
gonna remember it before it's 1 minute left. All right?
I think he got a crush, brother.
Whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
Damn, I'm not
what's
gonna
wrong?
lie. Don't. I gotta look at you different.
All right, so basically wrapping up the episode. Judy, we thank you for coming in. You got any last words you want to say?
No, just stay educated. Stay encouraged. Stay blessed.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you for being different by default.
And we'll see y'all next episode for relationships.
Relationships.
DBD.